Harambee! Neno hili si hivyo, mambo ni matatu.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. Rigathi Gachagua is clearly a man on a mission. Today, Rigathi Gachagua met with the two key leaders from the Loyal Nation. He met with this guy here.
So, Your Excellency, watu wangu wameniuliza sana. Unajua, watu wanapenda siasa yako. So, watu wa Western wameniambia mheshimiwa, ukitaka tuletee tu His Excellency Rigathi akuje wengine watakuona hivi one. So wanataka siku ya Saturday nataka nikuombe, nimekuja kukuomba welcome officially. Ukuje usalamia uongee na watu wangu kabisa. Will you come?
And you could clearly tell the excitement in Peter Salasya after a meeting with Rigathi Gachagua. Remember, Peter Salasya is among the few leaders who resisted the temptation to vote for the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua.
Mimi nitakuja pale Mumias East, Shianda. Wewe ni kijana wangu. Ulipewa 10,000, milioni 10 na kasongo. Unipeleke nyumbani, ukamwambia akwende. Kwa hivyo mimi nakuheshimu, lazima nikuje niongee na watu yako.
Thank you so much.
Hivyo mimi nitakuwa hapo Saturday.
Thank you.
Nitakuwa hapo Saturday tuko pamoja.
Asante. So guys, we'll be meeting.
Unataka nifike saa ngapi Shianda?
Tumesema saa 3.
Saa 3.
Saa 3 tukue pale.
Mimi nitakuwa hapo.
Thank you so much.
Sawa.
Rigathi Gachagua also met with George Natembeya, which is going to form the basis of this analysis.
If he's cleared by the courts to run for president, would you support him?
No, because I believe that the president should rotate. The Mount Kenya community has had it for 3 years, almost that something years, one community. And again, when you go there isn't much difference between what people are going there. Like people in Kikendo, in Moranga, and the people in Kapchai. There's no difference. They have had a president, we have not had a president, but our lives is just the same. One would demystify this thing, because people believe that you have got the presidency, the entire community has access to certain settlages. Yeah. It's not true. So if Rigathi's community still is having the president for the time, it creates a unhealthy competition where even people kill each other because of elections. Can people test this thing and yet say, there is nothing? I believe a president just worked well.
After the High Court made that ruling, Rigathi Gachagua announced to the country that he was going to take some break from politics and then focus on the mission of sending William Ruto home. In short, the main objective is to identify a single presidential candidate. So the meeting today with George Natembeya, in my view, is significant. I want to dissect it. Before I do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Ladies and gentlemen, for me, the first reason why Ruto met with Natembeya is because of the impeachment ruling. And the question they were asking themselves is what next? Yesterday, I revealed to you guys one thing, that Rigathi Gachagua had a plan of running. And he had planned to have a running mate from the Loyal Nation. And that running mate was going to be George Natembeya. So which means if that ruling stands, there is no way Rigathi Gachagua will run. And therefore, he cannot have George Natembeya as his running mate. So this meeting was generally about the future of George Natembeya following the current political situation facing Rigathi Gachagua. And I don't want to assume that Natembeya is safe wherever he is. He is the governor for Nzoia, and William Ruto is really praying to send him home. Within the political circles, George Natembeya is actually aligned or allied to Fred Matiang'i. That's why anytime Fred Matiang'i is meeting with Peter Munya, there's always the chance of spotting George Natembeya in that meeting. But the truth is, now with the ruling, George Natembeya will have to find a space, whether to go back to the governor, because of course in the Luo nation, there is also the emergence of one man called Edwin Sifuna. Number two, I could be wrong on this, but I think I'm 100% right. There is the Fred Matiang'i factor in Rigathi Gachagua's politics. And the Fred Matiang'i factor is coming as a result of Mount Kenya post-2032 or Mount Kenya in 2027 election. If there's one person giving Rigathi Gachagua headache, that person is none other than Fred Matiang'i. I know you are wondering why Natembeya is coming in the picture. I'm seeing Natembeya as an agent sent by Matiang'i to talk to Rigathi Gachagua. Because if Rigathi Gachagua were to go ahead and endorse Kalonzo Musyoka as being alleged, where will Fred Matiang'i go to? Because Matiang'i's politics also revolves around Mount Kenya. There is nowhere Fred Matiang'i can go without Mount Kenya. And you know, Matiang'i is an ally of Uhuru. In short, Uhuru is the force behind Fred Matiang'i. Who is the force behind George Natembeya? Uhuru Kenyatta. And that's why I challenged you to go and do your research and come back to me with a finding on any particular day you saw Munya, Matiang'i, and Natembeya not moving in the same direction. All those three are allies of Uhuru Kenyatta. But if you go back a bit, as much as Uhuru and Rigathi fell out, who made Rigathi Gachagua? Rigathi Gachagua was Uhuru Kenyatta's PA. And they've made up. So I don't want to rule out the possibility that Natembeya, on behalf of Uhuru and on behalf of Matiang'i, are trying to persuade Rigathi Gachagua to actually help them win the seat, because they are birds of the same feather. All these guys belong to Uhuru. Number three, it could be about the Western tour. Rigathi Gachagua announced that they are planning a major political rally, and Western is going to be his last rally. Western tour is coming just a few days after Rigathi Gachagua, after the courts ruled on Rigathi Gachagua's impeachment, which means the message which is going to come from the Luo nation is significant. But I've always explained also that politics is a perceptional game. So the Western tour by the united opposition must succeed. And who can make that rally succeed from the Luo nation? There's Edwin Sifuna, but Edwin Sifuna will not be there because as at now, Edwin Sifuna doesn't want to be seen to associate with the united opposition. We saw George Natembeya meeting with Edwin Sifuna, which means he's probably also trying to go with that Sifuna's momentum. But I think he's now on loan to try and work out something for the Western tour, so that they want it to succeed, to send a very strong message to Ruto. Because remember, Ruto is banking on the support of the Loyal nation. And number four, I think it's about the search for a single presidential candidate. In fact, the opposition will be wasting a lot of their time if they cannot arrive at a single presidential candidate. That is the fact, and that is the reality. And how can they arrive at that single presidential candidate? It boils down to the winning formation. And is Natembeya part of that winning formation? Yes, Natembeya leads the Tawi movement. Tawi movement actually took the Luhya nation by a storm. So they're searching. And in that search, 3 names are emerging: Sifuna, Kalonzo, and Fred Matiang'i. The 3. Now, how is Natembeya coming in? Natembeya comes from Western. He can be used to convince Sifuna. He can also be used to convince Matiang'i. Or probably if Rigathi has settled on Kalonzo, probably was trying to persuade, in my view, Natembeya to support Kalonzo Musyoka. And lastly, I'm also looking at the Linda Wananchi versus the united opposition politics. And if you're keen, this team are working together, but still they're living in fear. That is the biggest truth. The fear of the unknown. Sifuna fears associating with Rigathi Gachagua's team. Rigathi Gachagua's team are also giving Sifuna and the group time so that they're not accused of being part and parcel of this team, so that when they'll meet later at the appropriate time, then they'll cause a storm. So if you're to ask me, Natembeya is going to be that link between Sifuna's camp and this other camp. I don't know what you think. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.